Welcome. This is the latest update from Ukraine. We have just minor changes on the front lines, but unfortunately Russia took initiative near to Behmut. They propelled forward near Yar. Let's check the timeline. So it was yesterday, and it is today before Russia advanced, increasing the grey zone in this place. So grey zone Ukrainians control this territory but were forced to leave the positions. And now Russia is controlling this area before Ukraine was capable to get to Avdiivka, and even went into this valley. However, our guys were forced to leave the positions. We also have the confirmation from the other source that Russia advanced from Yana, and as you can see, quite successfully, unfortunately. However, there are no any villages or something like that. Just the fields, but Ukraine nevertheless lost the ground. Why is it happening like that? Because Russia has the political goal to achieve some certain success on the front lines before Putin gets elected the next year. So before going for elections, Putin needs to show something, and right elections in March, Putin also needs to show the success on the front lines. And for that purpose, they don't care about their losses. With this approach, Ukraine is unable to secure the ground for a very long time, with a constant meatwave attacks according to some of the intelligence services. Russia might try to perform one more attempt to insert Avdiivka. Now they collect the forces somewhere near to Don. The tactics for them is the same: to collect lots of the infantry, armored vehicles, tanks, and send them again and again with a backup with their artillery and aviation bombs. I think that Ukraine may still repel those attacks, not letting Russian army to encircle Avdiivka. Well, if Ukraine leaves AA, it would be a very big defeat for Ukrainian army, especially the reputation one, because we all expected that Ukraine will go on a successful counterattack on the south this year. However, the counterattack stalls, so the only place successful for Ukraine is across the Dnieper River, in Harrison Oaz. So Russia might take the initiative using lots of the resources. However, those resources for Russia is also not unlimited. And we already see the signs in Russia that mothers of the soldiers, their wives and basically their kids, are not okay with their soldiers fighting in Ukraine any longer, because there is no end date for the contract of the Russian soldiers. I would say even Russian prisoners have more advantages over the Russian volunteers or mobilized soldiers. Contract, they should stay 6 months on the front lines. Obviously, they do the most dirty job. They usually send straight forward on attacks. But other thing, that with the current Russian tactics, there is really huge difference between prisoners and regular Russian army. Soldiers, all of them, are sent to fight, and usually Russian convoys are just ambushed by Ukrainian artillery, FPV drones and other stuff. So I'll put this Russian operation under the big question. It's uncertain whether they will be capable to encircle Avdiivka, and now it's hard to tell. As usual, we have some of the videos from the front lines. You may see the Russian supply vehicles, usually with ammunition and artillery shells. Ukraine was able to identify the position of those Urals and target them with the Hammer shell. All of the tracks were cuted with this one awesome job, the aftermath of the Musters artillery system. That was kaboom. This is the Russian Federation only artillery system. We don't have those in Ukrainian army, but I cannot show you how it looks like because it's totally demolished. More and more videos appear from a DFK direction. So we have the old vehicles, we have the new vehicles that were kaboom at the same spot, so it's really hard to tell of when the image. Russia loses many more vehicles on this direction. They have constant failed attempts to get closer to AA, trying to encircle it. So far Ukraine repels all the attacks, but Russia took some ground. However, for what cost with those losses? It's just crazy. Also, Russian bloggers say that the Russian losses in Ofi already surpassed the losses in Bue. In Behmut, I wouldn't agree with that, because Russia lost almost 20,000 soldiers just in Behmut alone, mostly the Wagner army and ex-prisoners. Nevertheless, for 1 month in Avdiivka, Russia could have lost already 4,000 soldiers plus wounded. So altogether the number could be close to 20,000 as Russian military bloggers say. But as I say to you, for the Russian military generals, for Putin himself, it really doesn't matter. They want to take Avdiivka, encircling it with any cost, or by any cost. Sorry, I'm not good in English today. Russia also tried to advance to Sens, but the attack was repelled by Ukrainian army. There are some videos that I cannot publish over here because mostly they advanced with their infantry, and our guys just crushed the enemy infantry with drones and artillery. So with the existing censorship, I cannot publish them over here, but usually I publish them on my Telegram channel.